Hello, my name is Carl Hindle, Technical Product Specialist with One Identity. In this video, we're going to look at generating an SSL web certificate from a TPAM created web certificate request. So first of all, we're going to look at downloading the root and any intermediate certificates from our internal Windows CA. We're going to then install those certificates into the TPAM cluster. Next, we're going to generate a web certificate request from the TPAM primary and then use that request to generate a certificate from our CA. Then taking that certificate, we're going to install it onto the primary, and then we're going to look at how you would do this on your replicas. So the first thing we need to do is retrieve the root certificates from our certificate authority and any intermediate certificates. So I'm going to go to my certificate authority /certserv. So I'm using Windows 2016. I'm going to log on as my administrator. And I'm going to download a CA certificate. And I want it in dir format, and I'm going to click download CA certificate. Okay, I'm just going to rename that for my root CA. So in this environment, I've also got an intermediate. So you need to download the whole chain. So /certserv. And do the same thing, download the CA certificate. Just going to rename these. Now that's done, we can go and install them onto the TPAM appliance. Okay, now that we have the root and any intermediate certificates, we can install them into TPAM. So I can go to the /admin interface, then we're going to go to keys, TPAM trusted CA certs. And then we're going to select file, choose a file, and then one by one import all the certificates in the chain. There we go. And then import. And you're going to receive a warning saying the DPAs need to be rebooted. Just OK that. And then we'll select the next file, and then upload, and import. So on the right hand side you can see the certificate thumbprint, so you can validate that's correct by opening the certificate up. And looking at the thumbprint on the bottom. And that all looks good. So now that we've imported that, these certificates will be replicated to all the replicas. So now we'll go and continue with the certificate request. So now we can continue with the web certificate request. I've logged into the /admin interface on my primary. Then we go to keys and then web certificate request. Now we're going to have to fill in all these fields. Some of these are required. Okay, I've put all the fields in now. Because certain browsers actually ignore the common name, you do need to put the common name into the subject alternative name as well, along with any other names you want to use here. Okay, now it's all done, I'm going to click on generate. Okay, so this has created a certificate request, and we can see the file here. Now we have the request file, we can go and request a certificate from the CA. So I'm going to go to my CA /certserv again, and I'm going to click request certificate. I'm going to do an advanced certificate request, and for the template I'm going to use web server. I'm now going to open up the request file that we generated earlier and paste that into here and then submit. We can now select dir encoded and then click on download certificate. And here we have the new certificate file. Now we have the certificate, we can log back into TPAM in the /admin interface, and then we can go back to keys, web certificate request. Okay, and this screen is telling us the web certificate request is pending. So we can then select File, choose a file, and then point it back to the certificate we've just generated, and then click on Upload. And then to install the cert, we click on this button here, Install Web Certificate, and then click OK. Now it's going to install the certificate on the primary, and this may take a couple of minutes in case you've got CRL points in the certificate. Okay, the web certificate has now been installed. So now that we've installed the certificate, we should be able to test by using the DNS name, and here it's saying secure. So I did have to install the root CA into my local Windows store in the trusted root certificates area, and also the intermediate. So now that's installed on the primary, that hasn't replicated to the replicas. You will need to do this again on the replicas, and we'll go through that in a second. The request file and the certificate you've generated, you can just delete now. They have no use. You can't reuse them on this machine, and you can't reuse them on the replicas. So now we're going to look at installing a certificate on the replica. So I've just logged into the /admin interface on the replica, and as you can see there is no keys menu available. So what you're going to need to do is go into System Status Settings and then Cluster Management, and then we're going to make sure the replica's highlighted, and then we're going to force a failover. Click Continue with Change, and then if we go back home we should now see the full menu. Okay, so we have keys now. So first we'll just look at the TPAM Trusted CA certs, and you can see the ones we've installed on the primary have now replicated over. And then if we go to Keys, Web Certificate Request, and then again we're going to fill in all these details here. So we've filled in all the details, and then we're going to click on Generate, and then we can download the new certificate request file. And then again we would take this file as we did with the primary, we would take it to the CA, and we would request the certificate, and then we'll come back here and install the web certificate. And then once the web certificate's been installed, you can then go back to System Status Settings, Cluster Management, click on the replica, and then we can unforce the failover, continue with change. And then you would need to repeat this process on every replica to get a certificate installed. This concludes our videos for today. For more information on OneIdentity, please visit our portal. Thanks for watching.